And we are live. So, welcome everybody to yet another live interview show with Become a Fearless Father. And today, accompanied by Christopher Vos, better known as the father of 9. Man, Christopher, thank you so much for hopping on. And the whole world seems to be upside down. And get an opportunity to talk with fellow entrepreneur dad just like you is absolutely a pleasure. So, let's share some joy. Let's share some spirit out there to everybody out there that, is struggling a little bit and share with them some great stuff. So first of all, man, because for those people are like, did he just say 9? Yes, I did. Christopher and his beautiful wife, Jennifer, they have 9 kids in total, as you can also see behind him on the pictures, right? So let's talk about that real quick, Christopher, man. How does one... And I'm not going to ask how does one make 9 kids. I mean, so everybody knows that. How does one build up a business, an amazing business like ROR Method, make amazing relationships like with, Russell Brunson, Steve Larson, right? To name a few that have been on the show, for example. How does one do that and then raise 9 kids like a freaking king?
I don't want to make, I will not make light of everything that's going on. And I won't say, hey, someone doesn't have it as bad as me, because we don't have it bad. I mean, but people are like, a friend of mine reached out to me. He's like, holy cow, you're going to be quarantined. You got to stay in your house with how many people?
Yeah.
I'm going nuts with my 1 kid. Now we don't have 9 still at home. I mean, my daughter is married. She's on her own with her husband, and my one son is actually on a mission for a church, and he's actually coming home from Brazil because of the coronavirus. So we don't have 9, but sometimes it feels like we have more than 9 at home, especially it's really been a wonderful experience, though. I mean, the spending time together as a family, we always were a family person. We spent time together, we ate together, but we've been busy. I mean, everyone's involved in activities. I mean, we were in every sport, every little league, every football, every wrestling, every. So our kids are very involved in sports and other activities. And so this has really been, all those activities are off. The switch has been turned off. We eat lunch and dinner together every day. So I'm not saying imagine being home with these many people. It is crazy, but to kind of answer your question, how do I, as an entrepreneur, I mean, I had a day job. So I had a day job as a marketing director, a 9-to-5 job, plus the side businesses I'm working on online, and being an entrepreneur and having that many kids and being present for my wife. How do I do it? There's 3 things that pop into mind. Number 1 is you have to figure out what you focus on. And that's the key thing. And the best example I can give is Tony Robbins did something that I learned from him, listening to one of his seminars one time, and he talked about your focus. And this was a really cool activity. I suggest anyone to try this. So what you do is you have someone do this to you, because you don't want to know what colors they're going to pick, but you close your eye, you look around the room, and you see everything in the room that's green. And you look around the room and you try and find everything in the room that's green. Green on that picture, green on that flag. You look at everything in the room that's green. And then after you're done, you close your eyes, and then someone tells you, all right, I want you to focus on everything in the room that's brown. And then without opening up your eyes. And so with your eyes closed, now you're looking for everything in the room that's brown, and they give you a couple minutes. And then after you think of everything in the room that's brown, you open up your eyes and say, all right, look at everything that's brown. Now, when I did this exercise, the crazy thing was there was a wall in front of me, and that wall was brown. And I totally missed it. And I'm thinking, how in the world did I miss this gigantic brown wall? And so the reason is they tell you to find everything in the room that's green. And that's all I was focusing on. And then when I closed my eyes and they said, all right, I want you to pivot, I want you to look at everything that's brown, I couldn't remember the things that were brown that were right in front of me because my focus was on the green. So being a dad and being busy and having so many activities and everything that I'm doing, you have to figure out what you're going to focus on. And what you focus on is what you get. And so you can imagine our house is busy. There's a lot of clutter sometimes. You walk in our house and you would be like, okay, you don't have 9 people living here or whatever. But It's what you focus on. So when you come home at the end of the day, or when you're working from home, you have to ask yourself, what am I focusing on? Am I focusing on all the negative things that are going wrong in the house and the negative things my kids are doing, or am I focusing on the positive things, the good things, the things that make me happy and uplift me? Because believe me, what you focus on is what you're going to get. So trust me, it's not easy to always focus on all those positive things. But if I come home and all I'm focusing on is a certain color, that's what I'm going to get. And it's going to affect how I feel as a father. It's going to affect how I perform as a father and a husband. So number one, focus. Number two, I did a podcast episode one time called Family Inc. And I don't mean this in a cold way, Klaus, but you almost need to run your family like a business. So what do you think about, what does a business do? Well, a business has employees. There's a president, there's a vice president, there's a treasurer, there's human resources. There's technology and things that you use within a business that allow you to be able to communicate better. Also within a business, you have meetings, you have board meetings, you have meetings with your employees. And so you think of all the different aspects on how a company is successful, how a company runs. And so you try and run your family like a business, not in a cold way, but you have interviews with employees, check how they're doing. How are things going? How do you like your job? Is there anything we could be doing better as an employer to help you? Different things like that. Leaders within the company meet. So a husband and wife, they meet, they talk about what are the problems within the company? What are the problems within the family? What are things that we can correct? What are the things we can work on? When you do those in interviews with the employees, you find out things that you can help them with. So you interview your kids, not in a cold way. Maybe when you pick them up from wrestling and you're driving home, you've got 10 minutes in the car, you interview, so to speak, but you're talking to them. Hey, how was school? How's it going? Is there any concerns that you have? Is there any, how's your classes? How are your friends? And one thing I want to point out, sorry if I jump around, but being a business has a board of directors. And I always was told if your board of directors is good, we know that a business will succeed. That's why board of directors are paid millions of dollars to have amazing people sit on your board because they help guide the direction of your company. Your kids, just like running your family like a business, your kids have their own board of directors. And that's their friends. And so if your kids have a good board of directors, good friends, their company is going to float and it's going to do well. If your kids have a bad board of directors, bad influences, bad decisions, the company is going to go bankrupt. And so that's the second thing is run your family like a business. Think of all those things that you can do that you can incorporate within your family on a warm family side, not a cold business side. But a lot of those principles on how a company is successful is the same way that my family is successful. So those are two things. And then one other that pops into my mind is you have to keep perspective that you're raising children. And I want to give you a really good story. And tell me if I'm going too long, but on this question to answer. But I asked my teenage son, and I won't mention his name, but I guess it's a teenager. So if he's watching this, he knows it's narrowed down to 3 people. But the dog had peed on the floor in our bedroom. And we brought a towel in and we blotted it up, the pee, and we cleaned up. And I took the towel and I gave it to my son. And I said, specifically, very clear future, I want you to take this and put it in the washer with some other clothes. Right now, don't do anything else, because what I don't want to have happen is, it's got dog pee on it. So we want to take care of this as fast as possible. Yeah. So I handed it to him. He left. Got up the next morning, and before I go to the gym, I like to take a hand towel and wet it with hot water. And I like to wipe my face off and wipe my hair so I don't go to the gym looking like a zombie. And, you get the gook out of your eyes. So I grabbed my towel like I do every morning off. I have a fresh towel up on the hook by the sink, and I grabbed it, ran hot water over the rag, squeezed out the water, and I rubbed my face and I rubbed my hair and all over. And I'm like,
oh no.
I smelled it. I'm like,
oh no.
Oh, this is the dog pee towel. So I just rubbed my hair and my face and my eyes. My entire head is covered now in warm, dog pee.
Yay.
Yeah, yay! I'm like, so my first impression was, I want to kill him. I want to ring. Oh, I told him specifically, go put this in the wash for that very reason, because it's going to go back into Gen Pop. So instead, what happened was he took it and he put it up on the hook in my bathroom, and he went back to whatever game he was playing online or something like that. So there's two ways I could handle that. And the reason I say keep perspective, there's a really great parable. There's a story about I mess up what the characters are, but say a poisonous spider and a frog.
Mm-hmm.
So the frog and the poisonous spider on the side of a river. And the spider says, hey, I'm not a water spider. I can't swim. Frog, you can swim. Why don't I hop on your back and you swim over? And if there's any predators, I'll sting them because I'm a poisonous spider and you're safe. And then I won't drown and I'll get the other side of the river. This is a win-win. The frog's like, no way. You're a poisonous spider. You'll sting me and I'll die. The spider was very convincing and said no. So finally the frog says, okay. Spider hops on the frog, swimming across. They get to the other side of the river, hop out of the water. Spider turns around, stings the frog. The frog's like, hey, I thought you said you wouldn't sting me. And the spider said, I can't help it. I'm a spider. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that apply? What's my third principle for you guys that applies to kids? Kids are kids. They can't help it sometimes. Sometimes parents can get so frustrated with your children because of things they're doing, but you have to remember they're a kid. They're acting, not saying that you don't discipline and you don't teach, but they're acting exactly how they're supposed to be. When one of the older kids comes to me and says, so-and-so, my little brother is driving me crazy, I'm like, hey, you know what? He's acting 5. He's acting just like a 5-year-old should. So as a parent, I always try and keep perspective of when you're dealing with a teenager or you're dealing with a 5-year-old or anybody, you have to keep perspective that they're being who they are at that age. And so a friend of mine sent me a text one day, really cute. He goes, Christopher, the spiders were biting today. I knew exactly what he meant. And I text him back, like, they're just acting like a spider. Don't squish them. Don't step on them. So keep perspective and run your family like a business and be careful about what you focus on. That helps me. So those are my three things.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Everybody else, if you're listening to this right now, make sure to hit that heart button. I mean, there are 9 kids, so hit it at least 9 times for Christopher. That would be nice. I mean, we're all on lockdown he's on lockdown with a lot of people. So anyway, Christopher, share a little bit about your background story, brother. And we always like to know, well, we know you got 9 kids, but share with us as well, how long you've been married. So we got the whole complete picture.
Absolutely. So we were going to do some plans for our anniversary, but we decided to shift focus on that, and we didn't. We're kind of glad we didn't because we wouldn't be going anywhere because of the lockdown and with the coronavirus. So we just celebrated 25 years of marriage and 9 kids, 25 years of marriage. A lot's happened. We've lost loved ones. Kind of give you a little bit of background on me. I had a full-time job. I quit that job, started a business. Started that business from the ground up. Was an entrepreneur. I borrowed money from my parents. I started an advertising agency. Did this in 2004. And the state that I live in Michigan, we started going into recession in 04. And then 05, 06, 07, and then 08, in August of 08, the rest of the country caught up and we had our national recession here in the United States. So I lost a business. We lost our house. So when I lost my business, we lost everything. So in the 25 years that we've been married, we've lost loved ones. We've been through a tremendous amount of adversity and trying hard times. And it's been difficult and it's been a struggle. But one of the things that has gotten us through that is something I'll share with you in just a second. To give you a little bit more background about me, currently right now, I'm working for myself again. And, I'm sure we'll talk about the ROR method, which we're going to talk about here today. And so I'm working on that. And there's a lot of wonderful things about that. There's other things that I'm working on that I'm collaborating with some other people that we're going to be launching some different things. So I love at home now with my family and working from home and being an entrepreneur dad. It's great. I love it. It's a dream of mine. It also is a little bit scary too as well, because there's a lot of unknowns about being an entrepreneur. And I interviewed a guy one time by the name of Alex Mandozian, and he's kind of one of the digital marketing godfathers. He started digital marketing way back when, long before a lot of the people that are watching right now. We're talking 25, 30 years ago. Wrote all the books about it before it didn't even exist. But we talked about being an entrepreneur is just like being a parent, because being an entrepreneur, there's so many unknowns. You're basically standing up to the edge of the cliff, and a lot of times you're jumping off with a plan, but there's so many other different things that happen about being an entrepreneur and growing businesses and going after your dreams. Being a parent's the same way. When you get married, you have kids. Yeah, of course, there's books and things that tell you how to do it, but every situation is different. When I got married with my wife, I didn't envision that I was going to start a business, lose it, and lose everything. I mean, there's books out there that will help you get through that, but there's not like a specific book that tells you exactly step by step how to deal with something like that. So, you know, being an entrepreneur, being a dad, there's all these unknowns. It's scary. It's almost like, Klaus, it's like climbing Mount Everest. You know, there's so many dangers to get up to the summit, but once you get to the summit, it's more deadly coming down than it was going up the mountain to the top of the summit on Mount Everest. When you watch, they're like, it's more deadly coming down from the summit on Mount Everest than getting up there. And being a parent, you know, you get to a certain point and you think, hey, I'm there. But you know what? Coming down, there's a lot of dangers and things, ups and downs. And so all those things that I've been through in my life has helped really kind of prepare me to get me to where I'm at and to be able to share my message to the world about being able to establish and connect and make relationships with people. My entire life, I think I've been prepared to do that. So a lot of built businesses. We've had failures, like I said, but I have an amazing partner, my wife, Jennifer, for 25 years. She's amazing. And I think that's, you know, behind every successful man is an amazing woman. And those of you know who Jennifer is, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you that don't know her, she's a pretty incredible individual, and I'm so blessed to have her to help me on this whole journey. So in a nutshell, that's kind of my background. I'm an advertising and marketing guy, so I ran an advertising agency, sold airtime on radio at one point in time, and also I'm a professional magician too as well. And I've been doing that since I was 8 years old. So I do a lot of magic shows at school for Valentine's Day and Halloween. It was the only source of income when I was in college. So nice. I did magic professionally and did that for several years. And that was the income for Jennifer and I when we were newly married. Wow. And yeah, I'm a magician and father, entrepreneur, and one other thing, I guess maybe I'll share. I was on this health journey, Klaus, that I think I told you about, and I was doing really good and losing weight because I was being an entrepreneur. I put a lot of weight on because I wasn't taking care of myself, because I was taking care of all my business stuff and I wasn't focused on me. And I had a stroke July 1st. And you take a look at me and go, how did this guy have a stroke July 1st? Had a stroke July 1st, and what saved my life is a relationship. So we'll talk about that maybe in a second. But I continued. It was good that I was taking my life seriously, getting healthy, because that stroke could have killed me. And I made it through it. And I stayed on my health journey, and I continued to lose weight and get healthy. I jogged 2 miles yesterday, I think it was, and was not winded. So I'm healthy. I'm alive, wonderful family. I have a lot of things to be grateful for, and I've had a lot of little snags, but we've made them through them. So that's me.
Love it, man. Thanks for sharing. Jeff, thank you so much. You're on as well. Everybody else, again, make sure to hit that heart button so everybody else can get on right now. Learn a little bit more about Christopher. We've got about 6 minutes, so we're going to talk a little bit about the ROR method. So for those who don't know why I know Christopher, I know him because he's helping me out. And for those who don't know, that I have this huge goal for 2020. That's to have Sir Richard Branson on my show. And Christopher was like, dude, I love that. I can help you because I'm the man. And I was like, sure. And then he showed me all these things, all the people that are reaching out or that he built up a relationship. I was like, yep, you are the man. Let's make this work. So we are working on a strategy to get Richard Branson. But I want you to share, because ROR, what does it stand for? What is it all about? Why is it so important for people? To know the ROR method.
ROR stands for return on relationship. Now, a lot of people are familiar with ROI, which is return on investment. And so I have a t-shirt that says, what is your ROI? And I cross off ROI and I put ROR, because really it's about your return on relationship. And this one thing kind of sums it up. Your network equals your net worth.
True.
You're the sum. They say you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You're the sum. Your income represents the sum of the 5 people that you associate with, that have relationships with. You can kind of spin it to that. So return on relationship. What it's about, Klaus, is connecting with people on a level of gratitude, on a level of authenticity. You hear the word authentic thrown around a lot now, and it's kind of becoming a little bit cliche. But what I did over the last 3 years, I didn't have an agenda. I wasn't trying to connect with people for a reason. I just genuinely wanted to show gratitude and thankfulness for these people for what they've done in my life. So I began to reach out to them. I followed them on social media, and I was able to find things out about them that are unique. And I was able to send methods of communication, send them notes, different gifts and things like that, that were personal, that meant something to them, that allowed me to be able to say, thank you so much for everything that you've shared in my life. This is how it's changed me. Thank you. And this is how I want to say thank you to you. And so a return on a relationship is, as you build relationships with people and bring those together, at some point in that relationship, you'll have an opportunity to do something or work on something together. A lot of people, I hear a lot of people sit around and go, wow, man, it would be great if I could do such and such with so-and-so. It'd be really great if maybe there'd be an opportunity that I could have this person and me work on something or do a course together, or it'd be great to have that person on my podcast. I'd love to interview that person. And, people out there genuinely want to help you. But the problem is there's thousands and thousands and millions of people that want attention too. How do you rise above that attention? How do you get somebody that's a really important thought leader or an influencer to know who you are, to say, hey, I know that person? Or how do you get this person to say, hey, you know what? If there's anything you need help with, let me know what I can do to help you. Give you a small example. There was somebody that I thanked authentically and built a relationship with. I got a text message from that person, and they said to me, if you don't let me help you, I'm going to be mad at you. And I might not talk to you anymore. I'm like, so I turned to my wife and go, man, I better think of something that this person can help me with. He's going to be pissed if I don't let him help me. And so a lot of people are like, well, you show gratitude and you reach out to all these people and you thank them and you build relationships with them. When do you ask them to help you with something? And the answer is you don't have to ask, because they're willing to help you. They'll offer their assistance. And when I was laying in my bed, Klaus, I just had a stroke. My wife had my phone, and I didn't want anything to do with communicating with anybody. And she kept bugging me. You want to take your phone? You want to take your phone? You want to, honey, you answer for me. I just had a stroke. I'm hooked up all these machines. I don't want my phone. She says, take your phone. So I grab my phone and I look at it and I don't recognize the phone number. And I read it and it says, one of the most amazing people that has done so much for so many people and changing their lives is the guy by the name of Russell Brunson. I'm laying in my hospital bed, just had a stroke, and I get a text from Russell Brunson that said, it chokes me up to talk about it, but he said, we're sorry about what happened, and we're praying for you and your family. The only reason I got that text from him is because I took the time to thank him for what he did for me. And he reached out, got my phone number from somebody and sent me a text and said, I'm so sorry about what happened. And then 3 minutes later, my phone went off again. My phone went off again. And all these people that I had shown gratitude for showed gratitude back to me.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody out there is interested in thinking of a way that you can grow your network, build relationships, it's so key, because I am alive today because me reaching out to Russell Brunson many years ago connected me with a person that put me on my health and wellness journey,
Mm-hmm.
saved my life. If I wouldn't have reached out to Russell, I wouldn't have met all these people that introduced me to the guy that put me on my health and wellness, that saved my life, that made my stroke not be catastrophic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laying in my bed getting text messages from people saying, what can I do to help your family? People were sending pizza to my house because they knew we had 9 kids at home and my wife's in the hospital with me after having a stroke. These are people that I sent a thank you card to that said, thank you for your Facebook Live. It was awesome. They're sending pizza. So ROR, return on relationship, it has to be on a level of gratitude. If you haven't, it's not for you. If you have an agenda and you're like, boy, I really want to get something out of that person, because that's not the way it works. It has to be authentic. And I have some of the best relationships I have right now in business started out with thanking someone and showing them gratitude, building a level of bond and friendship that's authentic. Then there's an opportunity sometime down the road. Maybe there isn't an opportunity, but maybe someday you're going to be in a spot and that person can help you and you can reach out to them and ask them for help.
Mm-hmm.
They know that you care about them and they're going to care about you. Rise above the clutter. How do you get someone to build a relationship with you? Show them that you care about them. You know the cliche, people don't care how much you know.
Mm-hmm.
They know how much you care. That's thrown around a lot.
Yep.
It's so true. It's so
Absolutely.
true. So sorry, I'm long-winded. Drives my kids crazy that I do this, but anyway, I'm passionate about ROR. It saved my life.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's very powerful, man. But we'll share real quick for the people that want more information. Check it out. The links in the comment section. The links in the description. TheRORmethod.com. Check it out. I know firsthand that Christopher is about to launch for the second time, and it's going to be even bigger and better, so to say. So, Christopher, real quick, man, what are other ways to connect with you and build a relationship with you?
So Facebook, just look up Christopher Vos on Facebook. You're welcome. And one thing, I'm very approachable. You can also look at Father of 9 on Instagram, and you're more than welcome. Reach out to me, DM me, send me a message on Facebook Messenger. I will respond. I will get back with you. It's important to me because I remember all the times that I reached out to people. I want to make sure that I reach out and get back to everyone. So you can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger, Facebook, or Instagram, or you can email me also at Christopher@RORmethod.com, or the link down there that you had, Klaas, the ROR Method, www.therormethod.com. That is where you find more information.
There we go. There you go. All right. Fantastic. Christopher, thank you so much for being on. Everybody else, thank you. I appreciate you all. Make sure to share this with your friends. It's very important. Great golden nuggets to share with them so they can continue to grow in their lives. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the day, and I will talk to you very soon. Be safe.
Thanks, Klaus. Thank you.